Wednesday, and we're excited to have our friend and tastemaker, Chrishon Lampley, with us from Love Cork Screw. She's amazing. She has an amazing brand, and we're going to try some delicious wines tonight, but she has several more than what we're tasting through. But it also pairs so well with food, and we actually, if you're lucky enough to ever meet Chrishon and be at our stores doing wine tastings with her, they were awesome because she did a really fun job of pairing her wines with our sushi and other items on our menu and offerings. So she's always fun to work with. And we're so happy to have her here with us tonight as part of our 10th anniversary celebration, because she's been with us for at least 6 years in the store.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let you go ahead and take it away.
Of course. So thank you to Sarah and Amanda from Mariano's Marketing. I've been working with these beautiful ladies since inception. And I want to definitely start by saying Mariano's has been a huge cheerleader for Love Cork Screw. One of the reasons why we have so many accounts, they've always been behind us. I'll never forget opening up at the Bronzeville location when that launched on King Drive, and that was amazing because to have Bob Mariano, mention Love Cork Screw and Hebrew Brantley and different African-American suppliers within that particular store was amazing. So thank you to Mariano's, and I'm very excited to be here. I'm so used to doing tastings in person that these last 3 months has definitely been a new normal. For many reasons. But before I start talking about anything, I love to always do a toast before I start really going deep, because I want us to relax and drink and enjoy. So I always make a toast on these virtuals to all the essential workers, everyone that's working hard to keep us safe. And I always say to everyone that I do these virtual events for that, because you're here, that means you're doing the right thing. So I just want to say thank you to everyone out there that's helping and staying safe. And it's more than just you. I've lost family to COVID-19, so it has affected me personally. And I just want to say thank you for staying safe, and cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, Chrishon.
Yum.
We love you. Thank you.
So let's get started. Who the heck am I? So my name is Chrishon Lampley. I am the owner of Love Cork Screw. So in this industry, I am classified as a négociant. Yes, French term, a négociant. So the best way to describe that is I'm a winemaker, but it goes a little deeper than that. I actually source from different vineyards. So no, I do not own my own vineyard, but I possess the tanks within each vineyard that I work. What does that mean? The juice in those tanks are mine. I created it, all the formulas, everything down to the RS, you name it, the time it sits, all of it is created by yours truly. I've been in the industry approximately 25 years now. I'm kind of showing my age. I've been in the industry a long time, but I've owned Love Cork Screw for 7 years. Again, Mariano's being one of the first to take Love Cork Screw. 7 years, over 250,000 bottles sold. So it's been an amazing journey. I still have a long way to go, but I'm so excited to be in this industry that I love. So I've worked in both sides. I've worked in the sales distribution side, and I used to own an art bar and gallery. Some of you guys may have known it as 3P's Art Lounge. So I've been around, so I kind of knew what was missing. For being in the sales distribution side, I had huge territories. I grew up in Donis Grove, so I had all those areas around Naperville, Lisle, Lombard, Wheaton, and they would always tell me, meaning the restaurant owners, the bar owners, they would always say that they wanted to support local. They were sick of me coming here selling them all this crap that they had to buy because I was giving them all these great deals, right? So I took that, and then on the flip side, when I was owner of the gallery, I used to do the wine list. So I was the curator of the wine list. So we actually, in 2009, won Chicago's Best as the best wine list in Chicago. Yours truly, I wrote it. And I did it on purpose, but I actually purposely picked local vineyards, wineries, small boutique wines, because I knew you guys wanted something different. You did not want to go into every single store and see the same thing on the shelf in front of you. So I wanted to curate it just right. So through all those years working in the industry and being on both of those sides, I said, you know what? Time to start making money for myself, number one. But number two, I wanted to bring light to all of the local, meaning Midwest vineyards. There's over 50 wineries in Illinois people don't even know exist, right? The Michigan area has some beautiful, beautiful vineyards. So I wanted to give them light, because we always think, oh, because of sideways, there's only good wine in California. Not true. It's not only good wine in New Zealand, California, and Australia. Now, there's way more territory that covers some great wines. So I said, you know what? Let me bring light to the Midwest. I'm a Chicago girl, and that's what I did. So that's how Love Cork Screw was created. So we're going to start by talking about good times, good friends. So we picked 2 out of 7 of my varietals to talk about, but as you guys know, you can find Love Cork Screw in Mariano's, and if you have any problem finding locations, please head to my website and that'll help you out as well. So good times, good friends, Pinot Grigio. So Pinot Grigio, Pinot Gris, right? Same thing, tomato, tomato, one's French, one's Italian. So we're going to talk about the Pinot Grigio. So how in the heck do I do a great Pinot Grigio that's local to the Midwest? Well, there is a great piece of land that sits in between Lake Michigan and the Kalamazoo. This piece of land, it doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold, but it has that perfect lake effect that's great for growing grapes. Now, we always tend to think that the Midwest is only good in sweet varietals. That is not true. There's a great, great chance that you can grow some awesome grapes. And this one being particularly the one that I absolutely love. It is the Vitis vinifera region, right? So that's the type of varietal that we use to make Pinot Grigio. So my Pinot Grigio is not too overly acidic. A lot of times Pinot Grigios can be. Almost gives that weird bitter taste at the end of it, right? Some Pinot Grigios can also be overly tannin. Funny that the Pinot Grigio sometimes gets a bad rap here in America, but it's number 2 in the entire world. Pinot Grigio is the 2nd varietal in the entire world. So it's a very, very popular varietal. So that's why sometimes it's mass produced and sometimes the mass production is not the best. Fair, right? But there are some great, great, great grape growers and some great winemakers that make it. And myself being one, my Pinot Grigio is very crisp, delicious. It has a top notable apple followed with a pear. So it's something that you don't have to necessarily pair with when it comes to this particular Pinot Grigio. It seems that when I used to go to the different tastings and grocery stores, I always get, you know what? I don't tend to like Pinot Grigio, but I like yours. So that is Good Times, Good Friends, one of my top sellers in Mariano's, and one of the top sellers in the country because I ship around the country. So Good Times, Good Friends. What do you think about that one? What do you think, Amanda?
I think this wine is refreshing. I think it's perfect for summer to serve really cold, and I would have it like sitting with you outside on a patio, but I also would love it with a lot of the food you selected for the pairing. And I actually think if I really look closely at it, it almost seems to have like a very, very small amount of like effervescence to it. Not like a ton, but just like a very teeny bit.
Yes, yes, you are right. Boy, you're good. It does. A tinge.
A tinge. And I do taste like the apple you mentioned, pear. I think I taste a little melon. I mean, this definitely tastes like a wine that like got, was grown like in a sunny area. I have not been to that area. I actually want to invite myself to go with you, one of the times you're traveling, for the wine. Sarah would like to go too. We're very excited about your product, and it's fun to learn, about the Midwest. And I think a lot of us take for granted that it is a wine growing region among other things, but there is such, gorgeous fruit throughout that territory.
Gosh.
Whether it's apples, great. I mean, we're in. We want to road trip with you when we can.
Please, please, because I usually go during harvest, and if we can't go this harvest, we definitely can go next, because I'm there almost actually every other week.
Well,
I'm driving down. So.
in a separate car, so I'll be safe.
Please, yes. So definitely, it's not going to be that sexy, I'll tell you that much, because we're definitely going to be in the back. We're going to be looking at the tanks, going through, walking through. I've had my team go with me, and it's a journey, but it's an amazing, amazing experience. Definitely walking through the vines and seeing how the grapes are growing. And during harvest is always the most beautiful time. So speaking of which, a lot of people ask, how did I really, really, really get deep into wines? And when I did, through this journey, the education piece. So I actually trained in Healdsburg being one of the most amazing, amazing areas. And it has actually the #1 vineyard in the country, being Chalk Hill. So I actually trained there with some of the top sommeliers in the world. And it was so amazing. The last time I went, it was me being a mentee when normally I'm a mentor. And it was awesome because I felt like a little kid. I had my backpack on, I had my sunglasses on. I'm like, I'm coming here to learn some things. And it was really cool because during that time, I was able to create my one of my special varieties that I hold true. It's called We Go High. That is my rosé, and it was awesome because the best thing that a sommelier told me. He was the president of the National Sommelier Association. He said there'll be 99 sommeliers with 100 different answers. So understand there can be so much education, but at the end of the day, wine is very subjective. So it's what you like. A lot of people say, okay, well, what's considered a bad wine or a good wine? A lot of times it's just what you enjoy. Now, of course, there's going to be wine that's overly tannin, wine that you let sit too long. Sure, if it's turning colors, it's bad wine, right? But wine is very, very subjective, and I always want people to just enjoy what they like. Now, when it comes to pairing, that's when I'm going to be a stickler. That's when I'm going to be a stickler. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say you go to your favorite steakhouse, Chicago Cut being one of my favorites. I like my steak walking, right? So I have my piece of steak. I have my cup of sugar. I take a spoon and I pour sugar on top of the steak and I eat it. Does that sound good? No, that sounds awful. That is like drinking sweet wine and eating a steak. That doesn't go. That doesn't pair. Let me tell you the easiest trick. The easiest trick in the book, if you don't take anything from this, take this from me. Think about how you marinate your steak. Think about how you season your steak. A little pepper, maybe a little balsamic vinegar, something deep, juicy, peppery, spicy. What's deep, juicy, peppery, spicy? Cabernet Sauvignon. Chianti, Bordeaux. Think about how you may season your fish. A little olive oil, maybe a little cilantro, maybe butter. So buttery, oaky, little herb to it. Chardonnay. So think about it. The wine is just the seasoning. So the next time you're staring at the bottle, and I love when I see people down the aisle and they're going like this, what are you guys looking for? The alcohol content? When you look at the back of the bottle, it should tell you the story. It should tell you certain things that are going to stick out that would make sense for pairing. Seriously, that simple. Don't overthink it, all right? Now, when it comes to pairings, I know that Sarah shared it with you guys on the Eventbrite page. I have this great pairing list. And Mariano's was so great to supply all these great things to me from Mariano's. And I trick you guys. I always do this on purpose. Everything that is on the pairing guide, that is on the Eventbrite page, goes with everything. I purposely do that. I purposely do the more pungent cheeses. I purposely do a lot of more fruits and egg and olives, things that pretty much go with everything. So when you guys are entertaining at home, you don't feel that, oh no, okay, we're just drinking this type of wine, so I need to only do a charcuterie tray that has this on it or that. No. There's a lot of times you can pick different things that just work for just about everything. So in Mariano's, we selected the feta cheese. I love feta on just about everything. I love feta stuffed olives too. So we have feta, we have the aged cheddar, my absolute favorite, which is the Manchego. I think we did 4-month, and I think I have 12-month as well. Yes, it's expensive cheese, but this stuff is addictive. It's so, so, so good. So we have all types of cheese. I think I have Havarti as well. Strawberries. We have hard-boiled eggs, olives, olives on for everything. I love olives, everything. Like I love olives. And then of course we have grapes and crackers and almonds and cranberries. So goes with everything, works. Big thing of pickles. All of it works. So a lot of times you have things that are great with wines in your refrigerator and you don't even know it. All right. So don't overthink it again, and know that these basic items go with everything. Your more pungent cheeses work with everything. All right. So secondly, we're going to talk about my Concord. You're like, what the heck is Concord? Now, some of you may know it. You're like, wait, my grandmother used to grow those grapes in her backyard. I actually, kid you not, a couple of weeks ago, had a young lady repost something on Instagram. I had sent her some Concord, and she lives in California. And she said she was crying when she was drinking my Concord because it reminded her of growing up with her grandmother in the Midwest. So yes, that's exactly what that is, the Fox grape. So the Fox grape, there's the Niagara Concord. When you go to your local grocery store, that grape is sitting right in front of you. The beautiful Concord grapes have a gorgeous noir skin to it, and they usually have seeds in it, but the skin is so beautiful and pulls right off, right? That's a good thing and a bad thing. The Fox grape actually does not travel well. So that's why it stays within the Midwest or New York, of course, for Niagara. So that's where the particular area where you'll find more vineyards and more wineries actually producing Concord in Niagara. Grape does not travel well. So when we produce the wines here, yes, let me back up. What is usually Concord used for? Grape, grape jelly, jam. So the funny thing was, never forget, a few huge wine enthusiasts said, how in the world, Chrishon, are you going to make a wine out of a Concord grape? I said, no way, that doesn't make any sense. I never forget, I took all of my wines to RPM Steak. And Richard Hanger, one of the top sommeliers for Let Us Entertain You, he tries all my wines. Now he's drinking them all, spitting it everywhere. Wine is flying around the room. And he took a taste of my Concord, Hard Knock Life. He stopped and he said, Chrishon, if you hit the market in this, you're going to kill it. After that, nobody could tell me a darn thing. So I knew I was doing the right thing. I wanted to hit the sweet lovers and hit it right. I did not want to go to the sugary sweet Moscato. I wanted it to be very well balanced. I wanted to have a nice sweet tone, but I didn't want that super sugary aftertaste. I wanted to be refreshing as well, so it took some time. And this one I actually sourced out of Illinois. Illinois, Oswego. Amazing, amazing farmers there. And we created Hard Knock Life Concord. It is has a huge cult following, and all of my wines are vegan. So for vegans out there, yes, a lot of people don't know not all wine is vegan. It goes down to the preservative. So there's absolutely no animal product, nothing within my wines. So they are all vegan. So the Concord is nice, refreshing. For you guys that are the dry lovers, I always say this, dry lovers, when you have friends over, most likely their friends may like something that you don't like. So I always keep something in my house that I wouldn't drink, right? So dry lovers, keep some sweet in your house. Sweet lovers, keep some dry in your house, because again, wine is subjective and everybody loves different things. But dry lovers, if you're stuck with a bottle of sweet wine in your house, like Hard Knock Life Concord, and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to the store, I don't want to buy anything else right now, it makes an amazing sangria. Amazing sangria. We all love sangria. So that, just think about it. Add your cognac. I usually do I think I have like Jack Daniel's apple or something over here. I do that with a little Saint Germain, which is a ginger liqueur, little spritzer in there, add some frozen fruit, maybe a tinge of orange juice. I just told you a great recipe, all right? So use it to make sangria.
Post it. We should post that recipe.
Yes. I would love to. I'll have Aikita send you the recipe.
Okay.
We have it on a perfect little postcard that shows sangria. And it's awesome because the recipe that I created goes with every single type of varietal. So you can do a dry sangria and just make it tinge sweet if you want, maybe a little simple syrup. Or you can do a sweeter one. That's when you don't add any more sugar in it, and keep it a nice balanced sangria. So I'm gonna go into a little bit of education, and then of course, any questions out there, by all means, you can interrupt me, Amanda or Sarah, and by all means, I can answer some questions. So top couple of things that I always hear. This one's my favorite. So red wine. We always hear people say, no, I don't say always, but you've heard it before. When people say, wine gives me a headache, or I get a red wine headache. You get a headache from drinking wine. Okay, so what does that headache come from? What does it stem from? And they'll say the sulfite. The sulfite. So sulfites give you a headache. There are more sulfite in your body than there are in a bottle of wine. There are more sulfites in French fries than there are in a bottle of wine. So let me tell you the story. So let's go back to the 80s. Buffets were becoming big. You have the produce outside. And what happened was they would actually spray all the food with sulfites, right? Because it keeps it looking refreshing, like a preservative. Keeps it looking good, keeps the color sexy, looks great. But what's happened? What happened was they were using way too much. So there was something passed that said they got to put the sulfites on the back of the bottle. So back of packaging, sulfites have to be added, right? So when they did that, that was kind of an easy way for people to stick out and say that wine has too many sulfites. Not true. So this is the catch. If you're getting a headache when you drink wine, one of two things. You could be the very, 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 very small percentage of people that are allergic to histamine. Yes, if you are allergic to histamine, possibly wine can definitely give you a headache. You feel a little dizzy, woozy, or you get a little itchiness in your throat. Sure, absolutely. But let me tell you the main reason why you get a headache. Just like you would drink your delicious glass of whiskey, cognac. My favorite is Oban 14, right? When I have a glass of Oban 14, I have a water back. You're getting a headache because you're dehydrated. That's the whole terminology of a water back, to keep you hydrated. So next time somebody says they're allergic to wine, tell them to drink a glass of water. Their headache just might go away. That's simple, all right? So one to grow on. Another thing, I always get, Chrishon, how long can I keep a bottle open? Well, I always say, why aren't you drinking the whole bottle? But fine. You open the bottle, how many days can you sip on the bottle? Now, we can do the general rule. The general rule is always white wine lasts longer than red wine. So your white wines, like your Sauvignon Blanc, something that's a little not so Chardonnay, not so potent, I would say 7 days, right? You can say your red wine's 3. I keep with 3 days solid max. Know that as soon as the air gets in the wine, it changes the chemical, right? Things change as soon as you open that bottle. So I always say safely no more than 3 days. Now go take that a little deeper. It's based on room temperature, right? So now, if you have a top cellar at home, hey, forget anything I'm saying. If you have a state-of-the-art cellar, you're gonna have the perfect temperature. But if, like myself, I just have my wine sitting on the side, I would say that normally we keep our homes a lot warmer than what's technically room temperature. So a lot of times your wines won't last as long because it's hot. Now, don't assume that, you know what, I'll just put it in the basement. Do you know how many homes I've went to where I've seen cases of wine in the basement and they're damaged, they're ruined. Moisture does ruin wine. Dryness does ruin the wine. It's all about that cork. It's all about keeping that cork either nice and moisturized, spongy, and not crumbly, right? So don't just assume I'll put my wine in the basement to be okay. Also, don't make this assumption that the longer I keep wine, the higher the value. If I keep my wine for 10 years, it's going to be worth a lot of money. That's like 10% of wines out there. It is best actually to drink your wine within 2 years, 2 years max. So a lot of times we're like, oh, okay, I'm going to save that bottle for a special occasion. Know this. Always enjoy your wine and never wait for a special occasion, because sometimes we forget and that special occasion may not ever come. So just enjoy it, drink it, don't overthink it. That's what I always say. All right. So those are some myths of wine that I have to answer. Lastly, should I always keep my wine on the side like this? Sure, because that keeps the cork moisturized. That's the whole point, right? You got to keep that cork wet. But again, if you're drinking your wine within a matter of days, weeks, within a matter of a month, it'll be fine. Now, wine is wine, just like food is food. Does sometimes some things happen? Yes. Sometimes wine is corked. It's not that it's the manufacturer's fault and it's a bad batch, or it could be a bad bottle. That's simple. So sometimes, yes, if air gets in, it could mess it up. Now, don't go and buy those $300 needles that you stick in to preserve the wine. Don't waste your money. Just drink the wine. Enjoy it. Lastly, should I keep it in the refrigerator? Well, think about the whole reason why we put baking soda in the refrigerator, right? So the other food doesn't take on the taste of its competitor. Well, same thing. When you put your wine in the refrigerator, no, it could start taking on the taste of other things you may have in there. So it's not even that necessary to keep in the refrigerator. The easiest way to cool wine, I'll tell you right now, stick it in your sink, put some ice cubes in that bad boy, and stick it there for about 20 minutes and your wine will be nice and chilled. It's super easy. It's super easy. A lot of people think when they take it out of the refrigerator, you should pour it right away. No, you should let it sit for a little bit, because you're not going to get the true taste of the varietal. Remember, I also said that some people keep their houses too warm? Well, same thing with room temperature when it comes to the Cabernet Sauvignon and the Chianti Merlot. It's actually too warm. So you might want to stick it in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes, take it out, and your Cabernet Sauvignon, and I hope you get mine, which is we're moving on up. That one, it'll be perfect within minutes. So a little wine 101. I hope you enjoyed that. So any questions?
Chrishon, I have a question. Right? We didn't taste the Hard Knock Life.
I want you guys to taste it. Oh my gosh, you guys should be tasting it. Now, I hope everybody that's tasting and things, you don't have to open all the bottles if you're tasting here. I don't do that on my virtuals, but I want you to taste Hard Knock Life and let me know what you think. I'm going to be drinking the Good Times, Good Friends. So let me know what you think. It's grapey. It's grapey, right? What do you think, Amanda?
Delicious. I actually chilled mine, and it's so fruity in a good way, and it's, again, like refreshing.
Yes. When people always ask, Chrishon, what are your sweetest wines? So my sweetest wines are Hard Knock Life, which is the red sweet, and Touch the Sky, which is my Niagara. So just like this green grape, that's what the Niagara tastes like. And same thing with the Concord, tastes like the Concord grape.
I think
good, right?
So cool. Like, it's such a great wine, and I love that it's like a Concord grape. You know, to your point about people telling you, are you crazy? I think it's delicious. I think this would pair really well with a lot of fun things.
It does. And actually, my number one restaurant that moves the Concord like no other, for any of you guys that know the Hyde Park area, Ja Grill, Tony, the owner of Ja Grill, he moves it like crazy, because Concord actually is great with your really, really spicy food. So like your jerk chickens, anything like super spicy, Concord is amazing with, because again, it's not overtly sweet. It's also good with some Italian dishes as well. Mm-hmm. Yes, on the spicier side, but yeah, Concord can be used for a lot of things. I know a lot of people that top off their rum punch with it, but there's so many great uses for the Concord, and it's just so, like you said, light and refreshing. Also, you can enjoy it room temperature or chilled, either way. So that one's fun. Yay!
Another thing that and everyone else, feel free to chime in with questions, but I love having this time with Chrishon. All of the names of your wines are so clever and catchy, and your branding and everything is amazing. So how do you develop the names?
Well, first and foremost, I know my publicist is on, and she always wants me to tell people this, because I'm usually very humble about saying it, but it's true that I was the first to do it. And it was this simple. It was me working in both sides of the industry. And I knew in studying wine, few things. Number one, people buy wine, and I'm talking when you're going into a store, you buy wine for the label. Number two, the price. And number three, the taste. You will go back for one and two just because you recognize it. And you may not even love the wine, but that's just how confusing and annoying wine can be, because you go down a wine aisle and you get confused. A lot of times we're not able to pronounce Chenin Blanc and Chianti and Bordeaux. But I said, I gotcha. I'm going to create labels that you won't forget. You may not remember that's a Concord, but you're going to remember it's called Hard Knock Life. You may not remember Pinot Grigio, but you're going to remember Good Times, Good Friends. My other labels, we're moving on up, Head Over Heels. I have, oh gosh, so many, In Too Deep. I have some amazing, amazing names on the bottle. So that is why I wanted it to be easy, recognizable, again, not overthinking it. Wine snobs can be so ridiculous sometimes. Sometimes, again, it's just subjective, and I want you guys to enjoy it. Just because something's 96 points doesn't mean you like it. I want it to be easy, approachable for the wine enthusiast and the novice, and I wanted nice, whimsical labels. So that's why I came up with the titles. And a lot of them, actually, the titles just came from different periods in my life and things that I love. Like Hard Knock Life, actually, I always wanted to be Annie. I was in musicals, I was a classical trained pianist, and I always wanted to be Annie. I was actually born with red hair. And so that's how I came up with the name for that. It wasn't Jay-Z, it was actually Annie. Good Times, Good Friends, because I think Pinot Grigio is one of the perfect varietals to bring over to someone's house and to share it on somebody's rooftop or patio, and you have Good Times, Good Friends. Head Over Heels, that's my Riesling. It's nice and romantic. And one of the most romantic varietals, and actually the #1 varietal in the world. So I wanted to do some fun with the labels. Wine can be fun, and I wanted to keep it that way.
Well, you're fun and your wines are fun, so it's a good combination.
Thank you.
Doris would like to know if your wines are available in Canada.
No, I am not available in Canada yet, and it's so funny because Canada has some very, very difficult wine tariffs and regulations. So I did have quite a few people reach out to me from Canada. So hopefully soon. I had a broker in Canada reach out to me. Funny you say that, literally 2 weeks ago. So I hope it's really been a cool time for me, because if I really want to get deep into this, as an African-American woman, négociant, there's only 60 of us out of 111,000 in the world. 60 out of 111,000 in the world that are African-American women, either négociant, wineries, or vineyards. And so during this time, Love Cork Screw has gotten some amazing press, especially in the last 3 weeks. We were in Forbes. Touch the Sky was #2 in Forbes as the top 10 Black-owned wine and spirits. That was awesome. We were in Food Network. We were written up there as the top vegan wine, which was really cool, and Wine Enthusiast, Vine Pair. So to your point of Canada, that's actually why they reached out to me, because they saw me, I believe, in People magazine. So that was really cool. So hopefully one day, very, very soon.
Take over the world, Chrishon.
That's the plan. One bottle at a time.
Right. And then Doris also would like to know if you make other hybrid wines.
I do not. So I have 7 varietals. I may, because I'm doing some work. I'm working on it. Actually, I've been working on it for a few years now. I may do a Sauvignon Blanc that I've been working on, but I think I should stop with where I am right now. Love Cork Screw needs to go national. It needs to go national in Kroger's, Mariano's. When I'm able to get national distribution, I can definitely do a lot more. But for a private winemaker, for me to have 7 varietals, that's a lot. Usually private entities only have like 2. So I have 7 varietals. They've been hard work. I've worked on them for years. So understand, Love Cork Screw is 7 years old, but I've been producing wine for 10 years. So it takes time. It takes time. So right now, I'm pretty happy. I can't do everything, but I'm pretty pleased that with the 7 wines that I do have, if there's certain varietals you like and certain flavor profiles you like, most likely you'll like one of mine. And a lot of people say they like them all. So that means the world.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions for Chrishon while we have her here?
This has been so much fun. I hope everyone's having a good time. This virtual world is I'm so used to touching people.
Great time. Oh, I see Judy's got Good Times, Good Friends, right? Oh, Touch the Sky. Yes.
Yes. Seriously, that was number 2 in Forbes magazine, y'all. Like, that was awesome. That's still, and if there's any like Beyonce fans out there, this was the coolest thing. Now, I'm old, so, I'm a Janet Jackson lover, right? So Beyonce actually on her website posted Love Cork Screw as one of the top Black-owned businesses to support. And that was like, what in the world just happened here? Beyonce? So that is amazing. It's been an amazing time. These last few weeks have been, Dwayne Wade, he shared Love Cork Screw. I was number 5 out of 67 Black-owned wineries to support. So it's been an amazing time, a new normal, and I'm used to being able to hug everyone and see everyone in Mariano's, and I miss doing that, but I'm so happy to at least be able to bring you Love Cork Screw from my kitchen.
Well, we love it any way we can get it. But I will say that when Sarah and I get to do events with you in the store, I mean, you have so much positive energy and everyone loves being around you. And I remember me and Sarah like running to fill cases for people. I mean, that was really.
I remember that. And I'm telling you guys, hurry up. We're selling here.
We're like, we need more cases. I mean, that was really cool. So we're excited. And then Chrishon actually is going to do, in honor of our 10th anniversary, Mariano's is having a local market at our Bronzeville store where we're hosting 10 to 12 vendors every day. Some we sell in the stores like Chrishon, and some are new to us. Just they're, in the neighborhood, or we partnered with them in the past. So we're really excited about that. And Chrishon and her brand will be there selling her candle line, which we didn't talk about. And the t-shirts, like we need to talk about.
Okay, guys. So for anybody on this right now, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram or Facebook, super shame on you. So follow Love Cork Screw. So what Amanda's referring to is a really, really cool project I worked on, because I love t-shirts. I love logos and things. So I worked on this great t-shirt line with an amazing, amazing guy, Surly T-shirts. He's out of Washington, D.C., but he's a Chicago native. And we designed the coolest corky, I call them the corky tees. So if you guys got to at least check them out. They're really, really cool. And I'm going to be selling them at the local market. So Love Cork Screw is going to be outside with my candle line, which are wine scented candles, which I've sold, about 3,000 candles. They're all 100% soy, and they're just delicious. So we have candles. We have the wine tumblers that'll be out there. This cool corkscrew. Look at my corkscrew. Tell me this is not.
That was. That's really cool. I thought it was like
the coolest freaking thing. Wait, but look at what's so cool about it. So not only is it a corkscrew, but it opens beer. It opens beer, guys. Any guys out there? Beer. How cool is that? So we're going to be selling that. That's also sold on my website, lovecorkscrew.com, and my corky teas. So inside, I'm going to have some specials. So when people come back from inside being able to purchase the wine at Mariano's on Bronzeville, they're going to get some amazing deals on my cool stuff outside. So there might be some surprises. So if you guys come out, show your receipt. My ambassador Kalinda will be there, and I'm going to make an appearance out there, and we might have some great specials for you guys to check out some of the t-shirts, tumblers, corkscrews, and some fun things out there. So I can't wait. That's going to be exciting. It's supposed to be beautiful on Friday.
I'm really excited for the t-shirts. They're great. I can't wait to get mine.
Yes. There's some great ones. So I hope you guys follow me on all my social media. And like I always said, and Sarah and Amanda do an amazing job of it, being such a small piece of this industry, it's very, very difficult. This industry is worth $130 billion. And I am a tiny, tiny guppy in this huge ocean. So what I ask at the very least is to share. Tell people about Love Cork Screw. Tell people I exist. There's so many Chicagoans that still don't know that I'm here, and it's been 7 years. So it takes time. I can't afford Leo Burnett's of the world. So me and my team, we work hard. My publicist, Aikita, who's on the Zoom, my creative director, Christian Demar, we work really hard with the imagery to keep Love Cork Screw relevant. And we have so many things, unfortunately, that were canceled this year because we couldn't travel. But we are here. We've shown Love Cork Screw to the world in so many ways that we can. But all I need you guys to do is share. When you're drinking those bottles, share it on your social media stories. Text your friends a picture, tell them to pick it up. That goes a long way.
It is
250,000 bottles sold because of you guys.
That's awesome. And I will tell you today, when I was at the Bronzeville store picking up the items for tonight, people were stopping me like, oh my gosh, like I haven't tried that wine yet. How is it? I was like, it's amazing, first of all, but everyone had questions. I mean, it's really, we have to all spread the love, and it always is fun to work with you, and we love supporting you, and we're super excited for this weekend also. So come visit us.
Like I said, anytime for you guys, I'll do anything you need anytime. And I thank you so much for having me. If there's not any more questions, whatever you want, Amanda, I can still blah, blah, blah. I love talking to wine.
I know. I mean, does anyone else have any? Everyone, Judy, looks so happy. Maybe she opened the wine. I don't know. But
well, I hope everyone had a great
smile. Yeah. But I think that's Diana. We'd love to see you to come to the market on Friday.
Please come Friday. Yeah.
Carrie, we have not done an event with Chrishon and Crystal Lake, but once things loosen up with, COVID, I'm sure we'll be able to get out there, because Crystal Lake is a fun store. They do a lot of fun stuff, and there's a lot of big drinkers there too, because I work there.
Yes.
We open this.
Yeah, I've been out to the Crystal Lake location. If there's not Love Cork Screw there now, we definitely had it in the Crystal Lake location at one point. So great store. Great store.
Diana, you can help promote Chrishon. I know she has such great items between the wine and the candles and the shirts. I know she would love it. And I think we already posted about the market, Sarah, didn't we, on our Facebook and Instagram or whatever. So anyone's welcome to share. We have great vendors. It's going to be a great 2 days of fun. So we're just thrilled to be able to, obviously follow all the safety guidelines for COVID-19, but we're excited to showcase not only Chrishon, but some other great vendors and in our community. So
I just want to thank everyone, and I always end all my tastings with saying, being a small business, and anyone out there, or entrepreneurs, or just trying to make it and survive in this time, know that everything will be okay. I know this word is overused, pivot. We have to pivot and make things happen and make things work. But I'm old school. I remember the housing crash. That 2008 was pretty devastating. So to come into this time and be able to pivot and make things make sense, trust me, it will all make sense. Sometimes things have to crumble down, as they say, to build back up like a puzzle. So just take your time, breathe, know that things will work out. And myself as an entrepreneur, I always say, if I can break every glass ceiling till there's no more to be broken, that's what I'm here to do. And if I can affect one person to follow their dreams, then I've done my job. And that's it.
We love it. Chrishon, thank you so much. We'll see you this weekend, will be the
best
of the week. So we
can't wait.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.